storm has claimed its first Utah casualty, 22-year-old Dion Stephenson of Bountiful. Lance Corporal Stephenson was one of 11 Marines killed yesterday during the fighting around the Saudi Arabian community of Khafji. Today, friends remembered him as an achiever, a friend, a patriot, and a hero. Debbie Dujanovic has the story.
He was a great kid, hard worker, and he was one of our best. He was just a great kid.
John Haining knew Dion Stephenson long before Dion became a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps. A close family friend, John spent today comforting the Stephensons.
They're doing well. I think they're still in shock. They're really proud. They're very, very proud of him, and we all are.
Not only is it the first casualty, I understand, in Utah, but to have it so close to home is very devastating.
Bonnie Hobbs spent hours coaching Dion through high school drama. As his teacher, she remembers his 1987 mime skit that won high honors for Woods Cross High. She remembers him as a hard worker and a popular student.
He was a very determined individual, determined to reach a degree of excellence that not all high school students achieve.
The Stephenson family remained cloistered at their Bountiful home this afternoon, visited only by close friends, friends who could help them hold tight to their memories of Dion.
The loss is great, that he was a fine, fine individual, and we'll miss him.
He's a hero. He's a 22-year-old hero.
The Stephensons have another son serving with the Marines in the Gulf. Sean Stephenson will accompany his brother's body back to the United States within the next 2 to 5 days.
Dion Stephenson's father called Capitol Hill this morning asking Representative Jim Hansen and Senator Jake Garn to tell President Bush and the Joint Chiefs of Staff that the family is still behind the Persian Gulf efforts. Hansen read Mr. Stephenson's comments in a speech to Congress today, adding, "The testimony of a family with such a tragic and personal loss is heartening. I implore everyone to back our troops and their heroism." Representative Wayne Owens joined Hansen on the House floor saying, "I just want to express my deep regrets." This comes, of course, as an especially disappointing occurrence to those of us from Utah. And Senator Garn said, "I'm particularly sorry about the death of the young Marine from Utah. I'm touched by Mr. Stephenson's attitude and perspective. I'm very proud he's able to feel like this at such a personally trying time."
I'll dismiss him. You know, he was just a friend.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Terry Wood.
And I'm Michelle King. The war in the Persian Gulf hit hard in Utah today. Lance Corporal Dion Stephenson of Bountiful was the first local casualty of the ground fighting. The 22-year-old Marine was reportedly killed in heavy tank fire near the Saudi Arabian city of Khafji. Stephenson was part of the 1st Marine Division based at Camp Pendleton, and as KUTV's Michael Rawson reports, the entire community shares in the loss of this local hero.
He is an American hero, a father's tribute. The Stephensons are a Marine family. Dion's father, James, served in Vietnam. His younger brother, Sean, is a Marine also, serving in the Gulf.
Hi, I'm Dion.
Dion is remembered as a tough Marine, but not typical. A young man with a ready smile, a sensitive fighter.
It kind of scared me, and I'll dismiss him. You know, he was just a friend. It's one of those things.
At Woods Cross High, the flag flies at half-staff. There was a moment of silence to remember the 1987 graduate, an athlete, a prom king, a good student, the All-American boy. The principal, a former Marine himself, spoke with Dion after he joined the Corps.
Just a person willing to do his duty for the Marine Corps and for his country. It's just that kind of a young man, just proud of what he was doing.
I felt like if I could grow up like him, I'd be really happy with my life.
A year ago, Paul Nelson was a sick boy. Surgeons had just removed 2 brain tumors. His former soccer coach, Dion Stephenson, paid a couple of visits, telling him to hang in there and giving him a Marine cap. To Paul, the war no longer seems like an exciting video game.
He said that it wasn't very fair that he had to get killed out of 200,000 Marines. It seems a lot more personal than just people going out and fighting. It seems like the men, they're a lot more brave.
Stevenson's father says his son did not die in vain, that something had to be done to put Saddam down. The father continued, Dion loved people, that's what he was fighting for, the Kuwaiti people and the children. That's what the war was about to him. A neighbor, Marianne Watson, felt better about the war, knowing that Dion Stephenson was over there fighting for her.
I'm crushed that he's died. We all are. It's a hard loss for our neighborhood. It's a hard loss for his friends, for the community. But it's a great thing that he's done, and he's a great tribute to his family.
Stevenson's bountiful neighborhood is shaken. Most here support the war, but now, for the first time, they are forced to struggle with the sacrifice war demands.
And it's not just that they're Utahns anywhere in the country. It's somebody's son, it's somebody's brother, it's somebody's friend. And I think that's the hard part, is that every person that's killed over there belongs to someone.
Stevenson's brother will bring his casket to Utah. Utah has lost its first son in the Gulf. The war has come home. Michael Rawson, KUTV News, Bountiful.
Is Utah's first casualty in Operation Desert Storm. He was one of 11 Marines killed during the fighting last night in Khafji, Saudi Arabia. Debbie Dujanovic reports on the boy next door who will be remembered as a hometown hero.
A very good-looking young man and very polite, very personable.
Dion Stephenson was the type of student who excelled in everything. His Woods Cross drama teacher remembers him best for his 1987 mime skit, One Giant Step for Mankind. That skit received high honors at regional competition. Bonnie Hobbs says you could always expect that of Dion.
He was a very determined individual, determined to reach a degree of excellence that not all high school students achieve.
I remember that he was just one of the best swimmers on an excellent swimming team, probably the best we've ever had here.
He was so good, the school named Dion Sophomore Swimmer of the Year. But Dion's determination to be the best did not end at graduation.
Once he got in the Marine Corps, he was the best there was.
John Haining is a close family friend. He spent the day with the Stevensons inside their bountiful home, a home he says is filled with pride.
He wanted to be there, and he wanted to get that country back for those people.
And so did the Stevensons' other son, Sean. He, too, is serving with the Marines in Saudi Arabia. Sean will accompany the body of his older brother back to Utah. Friends say the boy's commitment to the Marine Corps comes from their father, who served during Vietnam. But a strong military background doesn't make coping with Dion's death any easier.
It's sad that he was shut out so early in his life because he had so much to offer, but he touched so many lives. People love Dion.
Debbie Dujanovic, KTVX 4 News.